Okay, here we are. We're live and welcome. We're having two new participants today. Welcome, Vineet, and welcome, Vipul. It's January 11th, 2026, and the WPL is officially rolling with 3 days into it. And already I can see that script writers are working overtime. We're seeing multiple game types. And to make sense of the chaos in Navi Mumbai, I have two distinct tribes with me. One is from North Stand Gang, representing the North Stand Gang, loud, proud, and still recovering. You guys own Wankhede, but Navi Mumbai, does it feel a little different? Beneath,
It's still home.
it's still home because Navi Mumbai unusually felt a little bit red on Friday. It wasn't as blue as it was supposed to be, so that's why I had that question.
I think it is fairly good support for both the teams. Actually, yeah, the result speaks differently, but yeah, I think it is fairly well supported for both teams. It actually felt like a local derby in a lot of ways.
Absolutely. I think the Navi Mumbai Stadium at DY Patil has become technically like your the home of women's cricket in India. So that way, I
Yeah,
think it's great to see so much of crowd support every single time. So, and introducing yourself, Vipul, you're also representing Bucket Hat Cult, and you guys have
yeah.
been dancing in the stands. How's the, is it too sweaty out there? It must be different to watch cricket right now in this season in Mumbai.
So for the last 3 odd years, we've been having a lot of women's matches in December and Jan. It's actually a great time to watch cricket in Mumbai. Probably the only time where you don't have to worry about like getting your handkerchief out like every minute. So yeah, I think that's pretty good.
That's yes, and I remember I'd come in October 2024 to
Yeah,
Wankhede, and I was sweating profusely.
yeah.
Of course, this is a lovely time to be in Mumbai, and I'm sure you're not going to really differentiate between Mumbai and Navi Mumbai, but I'm assuming you folks had a great time. How's
Yeah.
the atmosphere at the WPL this year?
It's actually pretty vibrant. So I think it also helps with the fact that we had a great Women's World Cup in recent past. And see, Deva Patil has like at least for last few years, it's become the home of women's cricket in India. There, I always joke that there isn't much to do in Navi Mumbai, so people end up coming to the stadium. But I think you got to give it to the local crowd to consistently show up. And this was a match on a Friday. I think you had a solid 45,000 crowd in the stadium and a very energetic crowd as well. So yeah, I think that's a great start.
Absolutely, and it's so heartening to see the support that's coming across. And you've been to different stadiums in Mumbai watching women's cricket.
Yeah.
Well, how has your journey really unfolded across so many years? When did you start watching?
I think the first time I went to watch a women's cricket match was during the 2013 Women's World Cup, which was the matches were at Brabant. And I remember watching three India matches, and then I watched another six matches in that World Cup. And I remember when the India Sri Lanka match happened and we lost that match, the Sri Lankan team did not celebrate their victory because they knew that if the home team is knocked out, then it'll just kill the buzz in the country. And then the rest of the matches I saw with like 30 odd people in the stands, except for the final. So it's a far cry. Like it's very different right now. And I in 2016 during the World T20, you'd know that there were double headers. So I was in Mohali to watch. I seen that Kohli innings in Mohali in 2016. So before that, there was India West Indies women's match, and I saw the final at Calcutta before the Carlos Brathwaite remember the name moment. There was also the final. But Deva Patil feels a little different. It's a place where with the crowd, you know that they know the players around, they know what's happening. These are people who've gone to the games like multiple times. So you actually feel at home. It's like when you go to one of the traditional venues for Test cricket, it gives you a different feel. Deva Patil gives you that feel for women's matches.
Right. And while you recount your experiences so far, we're also welcoming Vineet. Hi, Vineet. Are you able to hear us now?
Hey, hi Karthik, hi Vipul. I can hear you.
I,
Right. So, Beneath, I was actually addressing a question to you earlier, and unfortunately, your internet conked off on you. Is it fair to say that DY Patil was full of reds on Friday? It wasn't blues.
No, I don't think so. I would say
Mhm.
75% of the crowd was blue. They were supporting Mumbai. But there were a fair amount of RCB fans, and with RCB being one of the most popular franchises, be it the men's game or the women's game. So after they won last year, they won the men's version this year and the women's version a year ago. So since then, the popularity has increased, and even though the supporters were there in large numbers, I guess Mumbai, the MI supporters clearly outnumbered them.
Outnumbered?
it's
Okay.
just
Because
that RCB chant sounds. It's a little like, obviously it's a copy. Like, to be honest, if you, I'm just taking some time with it, but it's actually a copy of the famous Malinga chant. So in the season three of IPL, the first match was at like the first Mumbai match was at Brabant, and in the final over, the crowd started going Malinga, and next day the RCB DJ made it RCB. So that's the background of that chant. But yeah, it's a very catchy one. So I think that's a chant which is a very easy chant to do as well. Like, it's USA, it's that kind of a chant. So when you hear it on TV, you feel that okay, wow, a lot of people are chanting it, but it's a very
Yeah.
good chant to do.
right, and I hope that makes it to a quiz question, and I'm sure RCB fans are going to be happy on how Beneath, or rather, how Vipul feels that that's how the RCB chant came. But I've seen this year in Chepauk, or rather 2025
Yeah.
in Chepauk, where the RCB chants actually drowned the CSK chants, and that's like sacrilege. Shouldn't have happened. It happened. So how close is that to happening at DY Patil?
At DY Patil, it will take some time because it's a huge venue, and with the women's game is still gaining popularity, right? With Mumbai and most people being from Mumbai, I guess it's not as maybe if you go to the men's version of the IPL, of course the RCB chant will completely drown whatever little chants you see for Mumbai. But I don't see that happening in the women's game, at least for the next couple of years.
Right. So coming back to the first game, this is the opening weekend of the WPL, and we're already now in game four. Today, unfortunately, wasn't a double header, and a lot of people, of course, in the afternoon, BCCI, of course, scheduled it that you're spending your time watching the men's game, and then as the men's game is about to end, you have the 7:30 game that's right now going on, DC versus GG. 5 runs and 2 balls is what they require to win. It's a very interesting game. So, out of the games that you've so far seen, how was the atmosphere on day one?
Vinith, you want to go?
Okay, I can take this one. So the atmosphere one on day one was unlike any women's IPL game or WPL game that I've ever seen.
Mhm.
I did see one game at Brabant, but that comes nowhere close to what DY Patil offers with respect to the WPL. I mean, I think that I did not see the exact figures, but I would be surprised if if the count was less than 45,000, because the lower level and the middle level were completely full. The top level, I would say 50 to 60% of the seats were occupied. So huge stadium, and on a Friday evening, it's tough. DY Patil is Navi Mumbai is a slightly difficult venue to reach if you compare it with Wankhede or Brabon, where you just get out of a train and walk like 5 or 10 minutes. DY Patil is slightly difficult after a
Yeah.
work day, but there were more than 40,000 people present there, and the atmosphere was, I can't say it replicated what it was during the Women's World Cup, but the atmosphere was mainly because what happened in the Women's World Cup and the
Yeah.
increasing
Right.
popularity of women's cricket.
That's great. 40,000 people. But here, 22 people are on the stream right now. Request every one of you to please subscribe to the Cow Corner Dugout with three of us. And we're going to be doing shows every day during the WPL and the Under 19 World Cup that is to come in January. We're going to be talking cricket. We're going to be talking fun. And we're just hoping to entertain everybody who's spent their valuable time trying to listen into us instead of deciding to sleep because tomorrow is Monday. We're still going to have some very interesting parts of the discussion to come up. So the first game, RCB beating defending champs, MI. Will this be the El Clasico of the WPL, or is it DC versus MI?
Firstly, calling it El Clasico sounds a little weird. I mean, even for the men's game, like El Clasico will always be. Your son is a big Barcelona fan, Karthik, right?
Yes, yes.
You want to take it up with him first, but yeah, I think that's that's the only El Clasico. This sounds a little Bonavish, but I think I would still say RCB versus MI just because of the popularity of both the teams. I mean, DC might be far more consistent, but I think before the WPL final at Kotla between DC and RCB, I think it was Meg Lanning who said that we'll still be the away team today. I think Harmanpreet won't say that at Deva Patil, so I think we are. So yeah, they're fairly well supported, both of them. Obviously, RCB as a franchisee has done a lot more for outreach, and it shows in multiple forms.
That's great to hear. And with cafes, and I somehow find the RCB fan base super passionate, traveling to
Yeah,
different venues, and
yeah,
of course supporting. They have two teams in the
yeah,
WPL as well as in the IPL. So, but yes, that game where MI had lost,
yeah.
Nadine de Klerk, 63, new queen of finishing. MI thought they almost had it. And, I thought when you guys took Smriti and you also took like couple of quick wickets, the game was
Yeah.
there with MI. But
Yeah.
for some reason, Nadine de Klerk, was it a sense of deja vu when she was batting? Or did you even think that, she can't finish? What were your thoughts at the stadium?
So when Richa Ghosh and Nadine the Clerk were batting, I went with my wife for that match, and she's not a cricket fan. I was introducing her to women's cricket, and I told her that now you're probably seeing two of the finest finishers, like biggest hitters in the game right now. So I mean, unless and until both of them would go out, is only when you can relax. And like Karthik, you were also there at Deva Patil for the Women's World Cup final. So till Nadine the Clerk was there, I don't think anyone had it easy. And everyone, I think, even in the WhatsApp group of Bucket Hat Cult, everyone said that thank God we didn't see that version on that finals day. You
Right.
you
That was
really
a
like that's like a force of nature kind of a like batsmanship, and you saw that in that Vizag World Cup match as well. Obviously, the quality of
question.
fielding is a different discussion, but I think when uh, RCB needed 18 out of 4. Like no one was breathing easy. And I think when the second one, like the 6 and 4, then I think everyone was panicking and you could see it on the ground.
Right. And of the 33 people who are right now on the stream, thanks for staying on the stream. Please subscribe to the Cow Corner Dugout on YouTube. And you're watching the if you're watching this on X, streaming on X, we are also streaming on YouTube, and that's our YouTube channel. So request you to please subscribe to the Cow Corner Dugout. And we're having today Vineet representing the Not Stand Gang and Vipul representing the Buckethead Cult. Fan groups in India traveling to women's cricket. And as we saw the first game, of course, MI went down that particular game. But as part of Mumbai's folklore, Twitter saw a lot of meltdowns on the long rope army. Vinith, you saw a lot of meltdown. Did you feel that now Varnata finally has something over you, having RCB won that game?
Uh, Honestly, as an MI fan, I don't think so. In the women's game, we have dominated them quite a lot. I guess the only time were up, they had a brownie point above on us was when they won the eliminator back in 2024. Apart from that, I guess beating RCB is not the only goal for Mumbai Indians. Their goal has been to win the championship. They've done that twice in the last 3 years. So yeah, beating RCB is fun, but that's not the end of the world for us.
Right,
Such a
that's how.
mature answer, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The MI-CSK alliance always talks that way, but yeah, there's no CSK here in the WPL. And as much as a CSK fan, I'd love for CSK to play in the WPL, but they've chosen so far, at least in the first set of teams, not to be part of this. Coming back to the Buckethead cult. Now everyone's traveling around for games. You're a supporter of
Yeah,
women's cricket.
yeah.
Uh, Do you have, apart from Mumbai being the town that you live in, do you have a second favorite team in the WPL that you like wanting to go cheer? I'm waiting to
So
hear an answer saying Gujarat Giants or UP Warriors, but if your answer is not one of them, it's still okay.
no, so there are actually quite a lot of people in the Bucket Hat cult group, and there are many who supported. So actually, Delhi was probably the most supported team, and it's crazy to see the kind of support Meg Lanning had. But now this year it's changed, so a lot of people have broken out into UP fans, and some would support others. But I think, yeah, I think Delhi, Mumbai, UP, and Meg Lanning is actually crazily popular, and you would forget about the fans. I mean, if you see a lot of Indian players, the way they talk about her, they refer to her as Meg D. So I think
Megzi.
her Indianization is complete now.
Right. I was just watching this comment by I think Anvesha Ghosh on Twitter
Yeah,
on X,
yeah, yeah. Same.
and I
I was
think
referring to
she
that
had
tweet itself.
same tweet. And since we are speaking about Meg Lanning, yesterday I saw this very brief moment where Meg Lanning and Phoebe Litchfield were batting. It kind of felt like there was this legacy and the future batting together, a bit like Sachin and Kohli batting together. Because in women's cricket, if I were to look at the iconic Meg Lanning, the kind of influence she's had on the game, and the power of youth with somebody like Phoebe Litchfield, uh, how is it trying to watch them bat? Did you look at them being like the legacy and the future, or was it just another game to either of you?
Benith, you watched it yesterday, right?
Yeah. So maybe if I can take up the previous question as well. The
Okay.
other team, the secondary team that you support in the WPL, for me it would be UP. Only because of Phoebe Litchfield. I saw her innings at the World Cup semi-final, and I've been following her since then. And the way she bats, especially against spin, generally with the offside up, and the way she hits those switch hits for someone,
Yeah.
and so for someone to generate that power and hit the ball so far, that's something that's fascinated me a lot. So which is why I've been following UP closely just to see how she's been performing. And yesterday when I was driving to the DY Patil Stadium for the second game, I could not attend the first one. So the only thing that I would say I missed out on yesterday is Phoebe Litchfield's innings. So that's something that I would regret the way she batted yesterday as well.
Right. It's interesting. Like I asked that question, and that's the exact part that you missed out. But nevertheless, I think I mean I kind of felt that that was something that when I saw it on TV sitting here in Bangalore, I felt that wow, this is just so exciting trying to watch watching them bat. But unfortunately, they weren't able to win the game. But coming back to Mumbai. Mumbai Indians, after losing the first game, they came back very strongly. Harmanpreet scored 74, Nat Sever scored about 70. You guys scored 195, beating Delhi by 50 runs. Um, so does it feel good to get back? Is this the actual MI that it was meant to be?
Actually, yes, and if you see, you saw glimpses of those on Friday as well. I mean, even with 150 on the board, we s- I mean we did well to reach 150, especially with hardly any contribution from Nat Brandt or Harmanpreet, who are and Haley missed out as well due to injury. So these three have been our mainstays over the last 3 years, and with zero contributions from them, we still managed to reach 150. And from a bowling perspective, we had the game in the bag. So despite our top performers over the last 3 years not contributing, we nearly won the game until Nadine de Klerk decided to do what she does best. And 1804, the first game syndrome was gonna kick in. We saw that, we've been seeing that since the last decade, be it any Mumbai Indians franchisee. So when we came back during the second game, so the improvement clearly showed. Nat Brandt
Right.
was doing what she's been doing over the last 3 years. She was
Right.
unlucky to get stumped out in the first game, but she was back. She was back. Herman was back, and once these two click, everything just falls into place for the women's franchisee.
Right. And I'm going to, now the people who are right now on the stream, 38 of them are live on the stream. If any of you have any questions or you want to share, we're welcoming your comments on YouTube or even through X. We're going to read your comments live here. So just in case I just thought I'd remind you that if you're watching this either through X or on YouTube, please, we look forward to your comments. This is an interactive show where, as much as we have people on the panel, we're also looking forward to read your comments. And if you've not yet subscribed to the Cow Corner Dugout, I implore you to do so, please. We're right now on 57, and I'm just trying to see if we can get to 100 by the beginning of next week. And I'm sure the week has already started on Sunday. But yeah, the next target is to get to 100. We're on 56 right now. Looking forward to seeing more subscribers on our channel. And so, as we saw that game where, MI, of course, has won against Delhi Capitals, it kind of reminded me of the way India lost to Australia in the 2020 T20 World Cup final, especially the way Delhi collapsed, right? The 33 for 4. It just looked like the confidence was gone. So do you at some time, because MI is so dominating, get to feel that MI could be the Australia if it were to be, if you were to really look at similar sides?
I
Does
Maybe
MI
think that
feel like a
Australian team is definitely a notch above everyone else. Like,
right?
so I think that's like a bit of a stretch. Although Vinith would want that to be correct. Yeah.
No, I would actually agree with you. I mean, even though MI have dominated the first three seasons, I haven't
Yeah.
seen it as a complete team effort. It's been Nat
Yeah.
Theo Brandt or Haley Matthews, Amelia Kerr who've been carrying the team throughout the season. I mean, I
Yeah.
fear the day when all these three have an off day and on a big final. I do. If you ask me if I have the confidence that the team will see us through, I won't say that at the moment. I mean, I don't think we have that confidence yet. I mean, if Natsivo
Right.
Brand does not deliver on the big day, I don't think we'll cross the line. So
I
that
remember
Australian team was different.
you had like this one bad day in 2024 when you were about to win a chase, and then MI bottled up against RCB, and RCB got into the finals. In that eliminator game in 2024, and then DC just played the bridesmaid, and they were just losing every final. There's 23, 24, and 25. But I remember MI let that out of the bag, and then RCB won the WPL, and it just changed the way fandom basically and expectations were there. So I get that feeling. But the reason I asked that question was Meg Lanning is representing Delhi, and she is
Yeah.
part of that iconic generation that was ruthless, in women's cricket. And here we're having an Indian captain. That feels like an Australian team, especially with the way yesterday it happened. So, for somebody who got so disappointed watching the 2020 World Cup final, this looked like a role reversal. That's why I asked you if, as part of MI, you feel that you are the strongest side out there. That was why that question came. Okay, so we're going to take predictions here, and then we're just going to get into
Karthik, I
predictions.
have a
If you
question
are
actually. For
sure,
someone like you who follows CSK in the IPL, who doesn't have a team in WPL, who do you support? Does your
I
rivalry against traditional rivalry against MI come in your way, or the random rabid fan base between wars between CSK and RCB, that has a play, or you just think very objectively as a fan and women's cricket is very different?
it is different. I don't think the same fan base applies because I am now having a soft corner for RCB because RCB is the only team that I can support closer to the teams that I have. I like Ashley Gardner for some reason. Is one of those unsung heroes batting at 6 and 7 for Australia, bowls off spin,
Yeah.
scores 80s and 90s. If the team is at 90 for 6 or something like this, she comes and scores, and Australia scored 300 plus. It happened, I think, in a couple of those games last December in Australia. So I like to see Ashley Gardner succeed. So, and she's moved from UP to Gujarat Giants and now has a leadership role. So my second favorite team is Gujarat Giants. My first favorite team is RCB. And I think you've just grown, over time where MI has always been this side that CSK has never really liked because MI has been beating the shit out of CSK for a large part, except for the last 5 years where MI has just not shown up, and it feels a little boring and lonely not to have company of MI in the IPL. And I say that to, of course, rile up Vineet, where I keep saying, "Hey, MI doesn't even show up." So, but yes, I think it'll be RCB and GG for now.
Good.
So So if we have to put bold predictions, I'm going to take bold predictions from both of you in terms of what are you expecting in the next week to happen at the WPL?
I think Gujarat will top the table. I
Gujarat
don't
will
know
top
what
the table.
happened today. They needed 5-2. What happened after that? I haven't seen that, but
I think they lost a very close game. They made 205 and 207 was required to win. Sorry, 210 was required to win. They just lost wickets there. So Gujarat won. Delhi again, lost the game.
Gujarat won, right? Yeah.
Indian cricket fans are experiencing what English Premier League football fans have been experiencing for a while, with multiple games happening at the same time and trying to follow what's happening.
For a change, I
I
followed
haven't.
the WPL game today more than the
Yeah,
men's ODI.
yeah, that's great, and it also shows this shift, right? I mean, you're not the only one. I saw the entire bucket hat cult, not the say even core group, even the larger group, like absolutely going at it, like because now you're invested in the tournament, and also. I personally know 4 to 5 people who have traveled to Mumbai on this weekend for the
Oh,
WPL.
nice.
So that's actually very heartening to see. Also, airport being in Navi
Absolutely.
Mumbai also helps, but in general, I think it's for someone to travel this far, put their own hard-earned money, shows that women's cricket has come a long way.
Right. And there's a very interesting comment that's going on in our private chat, studio chat here, that DC is actually less Aussie and more South Africa now, because in today's game, they required seven of the last over. First ball, single. Second ball, Jemima Rodriguez got out. Third ball to Marzan cap and no run. Fourth ball, single. Five of two. And then, Sophie Devine, got that wicket. And the last ball was a dot ball. So just 2 runs scored and seven to win. And then DC basically bottled that game. And they also lost the previous game by about 50 runs. So yeah, I mean DC is starting to look like they are the South Africa, the men's team of South Africa back then. But yes, I mentioned the Aussie bit some time back, but that was more for Meg Lanning and Gigi. But yeah, it's interesting to see that they've lost such a in a game from a position that they were expected to win. So yeah, we've had quite an interesting game. 41 was scored of the last two of the previous overs, the previous two overs, the 18th and the 19th over,
Wow.
and then you had a 2-run final over. So this is like I don't know who writes these scripts. Do you want to nominate in terms of who writes these scripts? Usually in the IPL we say that Jay Shah writes these scripts, but who in the WPL writes these scripts?
I'm guessing Jaysha is working overtime. That's all. Yeah, I'm
Right.
trying
So
to bring back that absolute cinema, Jeff.
cinema, absolute cinema. Right. In fact,
Yeah,
in Tamil, it uses a Tamil cuss word and then say "what the absolute cinema." So, but yes, that's how. I don't think you would understand the meaning of what the in Hindi or in English.
yeah,
I leave it to the creative consumption of Tamil people who are on the stream today. But it's
yeah.
it's
18 plus audience as well.
yeah. I mean, this will go on YouTube as not for children. That's how it's
Right.
tagged. So that shouldn't be a problem. But
All right.
yeah, we're well past bedtime. And while Vineet has given me his prediction that Gigi will top the table at the end of next week, what is your bold prediction, Vipul?
Doesn't seem that bold. I think MI will be pretty strong. Think with all the players having clicking and Haley Matthews coming back, I think it'll only help. Although
So there
Nicola
you have
Carey
it.
has been fabulous, so I think that's a good selection problem for the team to have.
Yeah.
Right. So we're seeing that the Pulton is actually confident, and we have a whole month of madness left. So we'll see you for all those people who right now joined us on the stream. The 54 of you, please subscribe to the Cow Corner Dugout on YouTube. And
Yeah.
yeah, we did look forward to your questions. And if you have an interesting suggestion on panel or any question, please reach out to us. Put a comment on the Cow Corner Dugout. We'll be reading your comments with a lot of interest. But for now, we're going to go and we're going to see you tomorrow, same time. See you around.
Yep. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.
See you.